Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I really avoided buying this game for a while. You see, I really loved Assassin's Creed 2, and everything after that felt like Ubisoft was just really milking the idea. So after Revelations, I took a break. A long break. With the lack of next-gen games available for the Xbox Series X, I looked at Assassin's Creed Valhalla and I reluctantly clicked Purchase Now. I mean, the trailer was cool. It showed a huge Viking raid, but not before showing the blood sacrifice and the eerie vibe of the Vikings before they set sail to England. The trailer nailed the creepy feeling of the Vikings. Like, look at that shit. He's wiping blood on his face. This shit's fucked. He doesn't give a shit, yo. Let's go to England and fucking rage. So the game finished downloading and I got right into the story, which actually seemed really cool. But after finishing the prologue, things went downhill quick. Just like what seems like every other Assassin's Creed game, you start out as a little kid and your parents get fucking killed, and then you have to fend for yourself. Real fucking original, guys. Anyways, you play as Eivor Wolf-Kissed because you get fucking bitten by a wolf in like the prologue and shit. And you get to pick between being a male or a female. I'm pretty sure the game wants you to play as a female, but I kind of switched back and forth because it's 2021 and you can do that now.
To England! To England! For Valhalla!
The prologue lasted about 6 hours, and after that, the game sets you free in England to level up as you wish. The problem lies in the fact that the leveling system in this game is fucking dog shit. And that's followed up by the laziest item collecting I've ever seen. You can't pick up enemy items, you can't pick up their clothing, none of that shit. Like, are you kidding me? That big motherfucker had a ball of yarn on him? Just shoot me. You find armor in chests, which are usually found while doing raids. But if you want any of the good armor, you're gonna have to go on your own and find it yourself. For a Viking, Eivor sure is a loner. The raids are pretty fun, but they're missing a whole lot of shit. They lack any emotional connection. The game doesn't make you feel like a bad person. You don't feel like you've invaded lands that aren't yours. Like, look at how brutal that shit is. It looks fucked. But instead, you get this. The game is extremely watered down. What they could have done in 25 hours takes what seems like forever to complete. The pacing is so slow that I actually forgot what was happening a lot. The 20-syllable names of the characters in the story didn't help me with that either. I found myself forgetting who the fuck people were. And on top of that, I had a really tough time investing any care into them whatsoever.
Here's another fun little trivia game. It's called Name That Bitch.
Speaking of being confused, the game does a flat-out shit job of giving you any backstory to Viking culture. So if you play the game, you might want to take 5 minutes to look the shit up on Wikipedia. That'll give you at least a little bit of a backstory so you can actually understand what the fuck's happening in the game. Like, I got a buddy, granted he's not the smartest person in the world. He was like 25 hours into the game and he messaged me one day saying, "Bro, I'm like 25 hours into the game, when do I get to sail to Valhalla?" And like, yeah, I fucking died, but I really didn't blame him for not knowing. Now, the worst part about this is the main story in this game is kinda cool. It's just hidden behind 40 hours of the same thing over and over again, which does a great job of killing all the fun you could have had. There are certain moments in the game that just flat out made things harder for no apparent reason. Some of the puzzles were flat out stupid, like you didn't even want to do them. But that goes along with Ubisoft's attempt to create an alien baby of The Witcher 3 and Dark Souls. The Witcher 3 had side quests that would rival most games' main quests. You could actually get lost in that game. Every time you picked it up, it felt like a new episode of a great TV show. Assassin's Creed wants to be that, but lacks the storytelling ability to be able to pull it off. It also tries really hard to be like Dark Souls. But who the fuck wants to play on a hard difficulty when the story is this goddamn long? Like, for fuck's sakes, I spent 64 hours with this game and I sped through it, and I'd say 80% of the game just felt like meaningless filler stuff. Now I want to talk about how they wrapped up this game. So, you spent all that time pledging to these territories, and the main story ending has nothing to do with it whatsoever. It honestly feels like you fucking did that shit for no fucking reason, and they just threw that shit out the window. Like, I don't know if there's gonna be DLC around that, but like, couldn't there have been like one gigantic fucking battle? Couldn't Sweden have come and attacked us or something? Like, do something, but like that content is just in vain. It's totally in vain, and it felt really shitty when the game ended and I didn't get any fucking reward for doing all that shit. They did reward me. I got a little icon on my screen saying, "Thanks for saving England."
Time will tell if it was worth it.
And then early on in the game, it makes a huge deal about this prophecy about how you're gonna get killed by this wolf and how you're gonna betray Sigurd, but nothing in the fucking game even equates to the word betrayal. You might bang his wife a little bit.
What are you playing at?
But like, you don't stab him in the back, you don't kill him, you might just disagree with him. And then not only that, but like the worst thing that happens to you is you just get a stern talking to. And there's an option where you can change his outlook on it altogether. You can just say sorry and he'll be like, oh, okay.
Thank you, brother. I won't let you down.
It is followed by the awkward silence of doom though. So be prepared for that. Now here's what I got a fucking problem with. As I've mentioned in previous videos, a crazy event usually happens, which gives your character a motive to play the game. In Valhalla, that motive was Kjotve killing your fucking dad, right? But you end up killing Kjotve like 8 hours into the story, which eliminates your motive. Like, I could have put the controller down then and I would have been happy. So, Ubisoft, why didn't you just save Kjotve for the end? Like, after I had already pledged to all those territories in England, maybe we could have had a fight. Like, maybe you went to Sweden. Maybe you went to some other country Vikings are from and started your own fucking colony. We could have fought. Why didn't you do that, Ubisoft? And then the whole Order of the Ancients thing. You know, I thought at one point in the story, you know, it was gonna tie in, but it really doesn't. Some of the assassinations have direct outcome on the story, but you don't have to finish the Order of the Ancients. After I finished the main storyline, I looked at that and I was like, why would I even finish this? The game just flat out fails in giving you any incentive to do that. So I asked myself, did I like the game? Yeah, it was okay. But is being okay good enough for these companies who used to put out great? When did standards get so low? I miss the era where almost everything Ubisoft touched turned into pure gold. And maybe that day will come again, when Ubisoft truly cares about their games. But until then, you'll find me in the Animus, reliving previous memories of ancestors that actually did stuff. Thanks for watching the video, man. If you enjoyed the content, please hit subscribe and hit the like button, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss another video. It really helps. Thanks.